Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month and another edition here of the Enki Pro Series. Enki Pro Series number 6. I'm of course VIP with you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos to another broadcast. Again, we're live on a daily basis. We're live actually multiple times today, and we are here with something a little bit different, with something special. Here we go. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, then you'd be familiar with these tournaments. The Enki Pro Series is a ShowMatch series, a monthly series that Enki does organize. Enki, of course, he's el hermoso. He is one of the CranKy Ducklings, a Spanish caster. So Enki's a Spanish caster, and he has been organizing these show matches for the past 6 months, for the past half year, 6 months so far of Enki Pro Series. Every single month we put together 2 different players facing off in that best of 9 format. Best of 9s are rare, but not for the Pro Series. Best of 9s are standard, papi. And we have 2 amazing players ready for us. We have GuMiho and Zoun. We've been featuring players like Beyond, like Clem, like Hero, but now we have GuMiho and Zoun stepping up and facing off. Here we go. On top of that, I should also emphasize that tonight, typically at this time slot, we cast the Wardy TV Monday. Wardy TV Mondays are usually here Monday evening. They're usually starting here and now, but this week the Wardy TV Monday was postponed. It was postponed. Wardy, he did post that he otherwise had something else coming up at this time, so he was not available. And Wardy, he has actually pushed back the start of Wardy TV Monday until a little bit later on, 4 hours from now. 4 hours from now. Basically, by the time we wrap up this cast, that's when the Wardy TV Monday should be beginning. So it's going to be at a little bit more of a European-friendly time slot instead. I believe it's going to be instead at around the Monday night weekly time, start time instead. I believe that is the plan. The plan regarding that, so don't you worry, you're not missing out on Wardy TV Monday. This is basically a big another event that's happening before that, as it was pushed back, it was postponed. When it comes to the matches that we have ready for you, we have the Enki Pro Series number 6, that is going to be a best of 9 show match between GuMiho and Zoun, and we have the Enki Epic Series number 5, which is going to be featuring Classic and Tasia. Again, if you haven't been watching StarCraft as of late, you might not be aware, but Tasia, he is back, he has returned. Tasia has been competing not in StarCraft 2, he's been competing in StarCraft Evolution. StarCraft Evolution is a mod that does pit together Brood War versus SE2. And Tasia has been playing for like a month. I want to say around a month, maybe a little bit more than a month at this point, so it's great to have been casting Tasia and featuring Tasia as of late, and we'll be getting to some Tasia action later on. After this series, we'll have another best of 9 show match between Tasia and Classic, so that's going to be coming up. That will be coming up. For the time being, we're going to be jumping in. Again, we do have a $200 prize pool. I believe, I think actually $250, as we did boost the prize pool. Fun fact. But we do have a hefty prize pool here for the show match, and we're going to be jumping in. Let's go. False advertising. Basically, it's going to be Wardy TV Tuesday. True. I believe it will start Tuesday. At least here, like in Australia, New Zealand, like in our part of the world, it is going to be on Tuesdays. But it's like the Pegasus Cups, right? It was like the Pegasus Monday was on Tuesday. Smurge, buddy, smurge. It's all good. But otherwise, we have our series. We have our best of 9. Now, bearing in mind, these matches did occur a couple of days ago, but they were only casted in Spanish. I believe they have not been broadcasted in English yet. Until now. As I mentioned before, Enki, the person that organizes, the caster that organizes this event, does cast in Spanish. And we were given the opportunity to cast this live, but we had another event going on, specifically the Thermal 2v2 circuit, which has concluded, by the way. The 2v2 circuit has concluded, but that did overlap with some of these show matches. So I do apologize for that. So we'll do our best to cover the show matches live when possible, but the 2v2 circuit was going on, and of course we were working on that as well at the time, so we weren't quite able to cover both at the same time. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But otherwise, here we go. We're going to be jumping into game 1. Game 1 of all maps. I mean, hey, best of 9. You know what that means. No vetoes. no vetoes, papi. Let's go. Game 1, Last Fantasy. Oh boy, what a way to kick things off. And again, I haven't been able to cast much of GuMiho as of late. GuMiho has been featured in other series, in qualifiers, in open cups, and GuMiho has been having a bit of a hard time, specifically in this matchup. I'm hoping that he can redeem himself, but here we go. The pressure is on this morning in the bottom hand corner of Last Fantasy. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top side of Lost Fantasy, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself. We have the South Korean Terran for SAUL Esports. It is GuMiho. Here we go, and again, welcome on all to Lost Fantasy. Lost Fantasy is the most vetoed map in the map pool. It's a rare sight to ever get your hands on a match on Lost Fantasy, but we do have these two facing off here and now. Let's go again. Reminder, best of 9, which means 0 vetoes. We can force maps like Lost Fantasy, we can force maps like Torches, and I'm hoping that GuMiho has something cheeky up his sleeve. Now, a lot of players, including GuMiho, have been playing around with Mech. Mech has been rising in popularity against Protoss in TvP. A year ago, even more than that, of course, I would say that Mech was more of a meme, was more really a GuMiho thing more than anything in Terran versus Protoss, but now it's become a little bit more commonplace. We've been seeing players like Maru, players like Cure, a lot of the other Korean Terran players have been dipping their toes into Mech versus Protoss. GuMiho has been doing that since the beginning, so I just bring that up just because we expect to see that, I'm sure, at least once in this series. In a best of 9, I'm sure we'll see it. For now, double gas into a faster factory, going to a more tech-heavy start. To me, while standing the opener out of Zoun, going gate expand into Cybercore into our initial tech of choice. We also saw that Zoun scouted GuMiho immediately. Remember, this is a 3-player spawn map, so there is a little bit of RNG when it comes to scouting. But Zoun is fully aware he does scout GuMiho. GuMiho on the flip side, no SCV scout. GuMiho is playing blind for the time being until the Reaper pumps, and now he's off to scout. Let's go. Reaper does zoom across. I have to get rid of that. This is not the sparkling tuna cup. My apologies. We'll remove that. Este tuna. As Reaper does slip into the main. Dancing with the probes, and so far is forcing some denied mining time. Do we get a probe kill? No, we do not. Yes, Sorga does pop, Sorga does run away, and the Reaper is going to go down. Nice pick off here from Zoun. Takes down the Reaper, goes for a sentry follow-up. With the help of the sentry, what can we do? We can scout. We can get across the map, we can scout with those hallucinations and get an eye on what comes next. We can see here a 2-1-1. One base all in. Okay, basically what's happening here, typically we'd see racks into a factory into a CC, right? Then you get the expansion. But this is a starport and a second racks as well. This screams one base all in. Okay, I mean, I say it screams it, the Zoun doesn't see until now. What do I mean by that? Sentry. Sentry is out. We're waiting for the hallucination. Stalker pokes in. The Stalker doesn't see anything. The production's just a little bit too far back, so really well placed here by GuMiho. But we are waiting for that NG overcharge. We're waiting for that hallucination. For all Zoun knows, there could be a CC further back. It could be back there. GuMiho, he'd be willing to hide it. And here comes that hallucination. It's going to be on GuMiho to deny the scout. Cyclone moves out, and can he catch that hallucination? Oh, as it looks like there was a bit of a pause. Again, shout out to Enki. Shout out to Enki, of course, for running the event. He's one of our own. As, the Cyclone will miss the hallucination. Yeah, the hallucination does move in, and now he knows. Now he's fully aware. He sees everything. He sees the 2-1-1. He does confirm. So Zoun, he's aware of the all-in, and back at home, he's trying to set up. He's trying to get ready. Drop into the main. Gateways are finishing up. So you get the drop though, it is unloading. So far, Zoun unaware. Okay, he's unaware of what's going on. Marines, they do slip into the main base. Thankfully, there is a shield battery. Zoun, he's trying to race over. He does waddle back. So far, 4 probe kills. Gets 4. Medevac does boost away. And at the same time, here come the reinforcements. Remember, GuMiho, he has no expansion. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. He's got a couple of tanks. He's got a Cyclone and Viking production underway. Viking will help. I mean, we can always land the Viking if need be. True. So jumping into the main. He's dropping in. Oh, never mind. Trying to force a rotation. Let's go. The boys are being pulled. There's not many boys to pull. I will say that. There's not many, but they're coming. Here we go. Viking lands. Viking does land. The first tank is going to be targeted down. Can we repair in time? No, I cannot repair in time. Yeah, the boys were just a little bit too late. Yeah, they weren't here in time to repair. Without the tank, there's not really much here. Nice juggling so far, though. Nice juggling. But the shield battery is done. And Marines are going down. Yeah, Marines are going down. Medevac is being targeted. The boys are being pulled here in favor of Zoun. Dives on the Medevac, and Zoun, he will completely shut this down. Again, once the first tank fell, that was it. Oh, now we have a second. Second tank is down, but once again, we just blink in. He blinks in, takes down the tank, cleans up the army, and yes, Zoun, he will lose 13 probes, but he's still ahead in workers. He's still up in workers. He still has a greater economy. He's still on 2 bases, so Zoun still maintains a lead. He does maintain that lead, chasing down those reinforcements. Again, GuMiho had potential. If only the SCVs were either a little bit faster, a little bit sooner, or GuMiho's tank was a little bit further back, one or the other. But again, the tank just didn't get the support it needed. Barely not. And behind this, GuMiho, he's going to double down. I mean, he has to double down. Remember, there's no expanding after this. It's an all-in, so we cannot get a natural ace. It's just not going to happen. It'll be such an uphill battle. So we're going for a Cloak Banshee. Yeah, it's a bit of a gamba, true, but hey, if there's no detection, it can work. And do you see what I see? 0 detection. There's no Robo, no Stargate, no Forge. Banshees have potential. The problem is that it's going to hit quite late. Like, we're still waiting for Cloak. Cloak is halfway done. By the time it finishes, there is a greater chance here that there will soon be detection, as there it is. Yeah, Robo is on the way. The Robo has begun. Here comes a hallucination, and Zoun, he may just scout that research. This hallucination does dive right into the main base, and Zoun, he will see everything. There we go. He gets eyes on the tech lab. He sees it researching. He knows. Yeah, he's now fully aware. Robo is getting up to halfway done. There's still a window in time here where this Banshee can find damage. There's a shield battery in the natural base that's partially covering the mineral line, partially. The boys are pulled for a second time. Let's go. Banshee gets across. We're going for the base trade. We are going to be coming to the base trade here. Bearing in mind that Zoun can always recall. If he needs to, he can always recall back. Does catch a tank, getting into the mineral line. And here comes GuMiho. Targeting now the shield battery. Observer's not out yet. There's a force field. Probes are getting caught out. Likewise, you see all the SCVs falling. Second Banshee did actually join the main army, but now there's detection. He's going for the sentry. Sentry goes down. Nice pick up. Takes down the sentry. Meanwhile, there's that recall. So Stalkers, they recalled back. And Zoun is going to try to surround. GuMiho, can he pull this off? With 3 tanks, he might take the fight. Ah, but charge. Yeah, charge finishing up in 2 seconds. We're waiting for charge. Charge is now done. Here comes extra warp in, and now we collapse on the army. Zalse trades so well here. Stalkers are coming from behind. He gets 1, he gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Can he get all 3? Oh, going for the Banshees. Ooh, a little bit messy here as the final tank does barely fall. Yeah, very close fights, but Zoun has reinforcements. And remember, GuMiho, he has Delta. There's nothing. There's no economy. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG will play it as Zoun, he does take a lead in this series, and again, it was a cheeky build out of GuMiho going for the 1 base all-in. Unfortunately, we saw that Zoun, he went Stalker Sentry, which means he had the hallucination. He scouted the all-in. He was able to scout the all-in. Despite that, GuMiho still had potential with said all-in, with his reinforcements, but as we pointed out, as soon as the first tank went down, that was game. Or at least that was the end of that push. Without that tank, it was the first thing to be targeted down, and once GuMiho lost it, he just didn't have the firepower to break the natural base. Just ran out of steam, and GG. GG well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. Ooh, another aggressive map here. Game 2 is going to be on Pylon. Oh boy. The aggression will continue, and we'll see if GuMiho does have another build up his sleeve. 1 base all-ins are going to be an option here, for sure, 100%. But I'm hoping we don't go for a 1 base all-in 2 games in a row. I'm hoping we get a little bit of variety here. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Vitality, leading the series 1-0. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. The red Terran moving out across the map real fast and real quick for SAUL Esports. It is GuMiho. Hello. GuMiho, as we are setting up with the proxy racks. There's no racks back at home, and the probe will confirm. Zoun is checking. He's like, hold up, what's going on? Where's your racks? So, where is your building, Pap? You have the money for it. So Zoun, he knows something is a little bit wrong. You can see he's double checking. Yeah, he's double checking. Checking the gases, going behind the mineral line as well. He's searching for the racks. And he moves out with a second probe. Oh no! And he finds it. Oh god, he finds it almost immediately here. Zoun. Again, he saw that there was a missing racks. He checks with the second probe. It pays off. He finds that, and he will deny the racks. Oh no! A brutal start here for GuMiho, as he will not finish that racks. I have to get rid of the tuna. This is not the tuna cup. A second SCV moves in, but now there's a second probe on this racks. I mean, again, Zoun, he knows how close it is to finishing. He knows how close it is. And with 2 probes, he might still focus on the SCV. Oh god, he will not! GG! GG, as the second SCV gets tired down. And GuMiho, we gotta calm down, back. We gotta calm down. GG, well played. Zoun, he will take a 2-0 lead. Now, bearing in mind, it's the best of 9, so we have a lot of games to work with. We have a lot of games to work with here, so you have some room for error. That is true. At the same time, though, a rough start. Rough start for GuMiho. Unfortunately, he doubled down, he committed when it came to the proxy racks. Again, Zoun, he found it immediately. He did pull a second probe because he knew that GuMiho would try to keep it going, and he did punish GuMiho. GG, well played. The aggression not quite working. Game 1, 1 base all in. Game 2, attempted proxy. Game 3, do we expand? GuMiho, let's go, let's find out. Now, game 3, we're loading into Ultra Love. Ultra Love is another one of these more aggressive maps. It's another one of these more aggressive maps. So GuMiho has the potential to once again go for a proxy, go for 1 base all in, go for a 2 base all in, and be in the face of his opponent. I'm expecting something aggressive here, especially after what happened in game 1 and game 2. But here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Vitality, leading the series 2-0, looking very comfortable so far in this series, at least when it comes to defending in the early game. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing SHUL Esports, having a shaky start to the series, but remember, it's first to 5 wins. We still got more games ahead of us. Let's go. Let us begin the comeback as Rax is back home this time. It is GuMiho. The Rax is back at home. There is no SCV out on the map, and I still have not gotten rid of the tuna. The fast games are catching me off guard, Bappy. I'll try to remind myself. I mean, we love the tuna. The tuna's beautiful. Listen to the brutal OST. Obviously. Listening to the OST. That's why I'm so happy. Look at the tuna. I'll do my best to remember to get rid of the mod after this game. Do my best. But now, we do have an economic opener out of GuMiho. Single gas, Rags expand. For the first time this series, GuMiho is actually taking his natural. He's actually expanding. Okay. We're gaming. We're playing some StarCraft. Jesus, Zoun is being so annoying. Oh my god. As he will delay the CC, doesn't kill the SCV, but it gets very low. As the probe does fall. GuMiho does defend. And behind this, we are building up. Oh, okay, GuMiho trying to lay a trap. So a couple of things have happened here. Basically, GuMiho, remember, he went for the faster CC, and he knows that Zoun wants to punish this. Zoun, he wants to punish the greed, he wants to punish the economy, he wants to try to apply some pressure. So GuMiho, he's hoping that he will. He's like, hey, come at me. I'm getting a CC on location. Come at me with some adepts, come at me with some stalkers. If he does, we have marauders lying in wait with concussive shell to punish the gateway units. And here it comes Zoun. So basically, GuMiho is using this CC as a bit of a bait to try to catch some early units, some early damage. And the Adept is going to get... Oh, no concussive shell. 2 seconds too soon. 2 seconds too soon. The Adept will ward. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. The Adept is going to be forced to recall, but will get away. Whew. Does it get away? And with that Zoun, he will not lose any units. You can see him racing back home with the second Adept. He knows that he cannot threaten these Marauders. And GuMiho, he is going for extra racks in behind this. Going for a 3-1-1. Oh, this is a little bit old. I say a little bit old school. This is very out of meta. This was very popular at the start of the year. So this is looking a little bit dated, but this is a 2-base all-in. This is the setup for a 2-base all-in. Again, if you were watching StarCraft, you know, back in January, February, March, like the first 3 months of the year, we saw this quite often. I mean, I say that. Coming up until the first season of GSL. Basically what's happening here is that we are skipping the starport. The starport is delayed. So delayed starport means delayed medevacs, means early tech lab on the racks, early stim, early bioproduction into a really hefty army early on, typically into a 2-base all-in. Just because you're building up your army faster than normal. Downside is you're delaying medevacs, which means you're delaying drop play, which means GuMiho, he has no scouting. He has no drop potential, he has no harassment, he has 0 map control, he has 0 idea as to what's happening. Typically with something like a mine drop, or Hellion harass, or Banshee play, or Raven based opener, it's designed to deal economic damage, yes, but also to scout your opponent. Speaking of, we do have Zoun going for his own opener as well, setting up 3 gateways here back at home. Very safe play out of Zoun. Yeah, very safe out of our Protoss player, playing 3-gate blink in towards a 3rd, with a Robo also on 2 bases. Now, we have seen some players actually go for this setup and then go for a Temple Archives into Storm on 2 bases. Here we have a Bay into Colossus on 2 bases. Same idea, but slightly different tech. So 2-base Colossus before the 3rd. Very safe play here by Zoun. He saw, yeah. Oh god, that's why he's just hard countering. I mean, Zoun, he just scattered with a hallucination. I did miss that. I was looking at Zoun's base, but if you look at his vision, you can see he saw the 3 Raxes, he saw the eBay, he saw the factory, he saw the lack of Starport. He's now confirming that there's no 3rd CC, of course. This screams 2-base all-in, so he's going 2-base Colossus. And because Zoun isn't spending any money on a 3rd and on his economy, he will have the army to shut down GuMiho, or at least he should, on paper, that is. Here comes GuMiho. A couple of boys are being pulled. Again, it's all or nothing. GuMiho is 2-base all in. Oh no, the first tank! Oh my god, 1 tank goes down already. And Zoun's doing the correct thing. Again, if you're up against an all-in like this, any kind of all-in really, you want to be active with these Stalkers, as we're seeing here, to pick off tanks, whether it's Marines, Marauders, Cyclones, or a tank, which is really what you're looking for. That's the ideal. Whatever you can get to slow down the all-in as it moves out across the map. So really good positioning here out of Zoun. A really solid start, and a shaky start for GuMiho as he's trying to all-in. Now with only 1 tank, we can see Zoun turning back around. He actually comes in from behind to catch reinforcements. Does bypass the army. Looking for another tank. He barely will miss it. The all-in's moving in. And the first Colossus is almost out. Now coming from behind. We see Zoun trying to focus on that tank, but he's going to take a lot of tank shots to the face. Yeah, that wasn't worth it. That was not worth it. That 1 tank putting in a lot of work. But now the Colossus has arrived. And he's got 2 more shield batteries. You can see Zoun, he's fully fortified on 2 bases. What I mean by that, he's got 3 shield batteries and no 3rd. He has no wasted resources on a 3rd Nexus. Not at all. The Observer sees you on siege. Yeah, he spots you on siege. He dives on the tank. Tank goes down. And Zoun, he's completely shutting down this all-in. And GuMiho, he doesn't have a C. Now he starts to CC. Now that it's apparent that it's not working. Likewise, now he starts to Starport as well. Starport just finished up, and all this is late. Late 3rd base, late Starport. And right now, momentum is in favor of Zoun, which means Zoun can counterattack. You could argue that Zoun is kind of going for his own, like, 2-base all-in, 2-base counterattack, of course. Behind this, there's technically 1 tank on the high ground. The 1 tank will hold. Behind this, Zoun can expand. And I would argue here that Zoun is still in a really strong position. Both players are on 2 bases. True. 2 base versus 2 base. But Zoun has map control, which means Zoun can expand freely. And GuMiho is going to have to fight for his 3rd base. Going to have to fight to land his 3rd. As Zoun should be waiting right outside his front door. Remember, Zoun, he doesn't have to push in, and he should. Like, there's no need to push up this ramp into this natural. Sure, there's no bunker, and sure, there's minimal defense here. Actually, he probably could break the natural, because he doesn't know that we have a double drop instead. So, risky move out of GuMiho. If Zoun attacked here and now, Zoun would break the natural, would just kill GuMiho. Hallucination doesn't see everything, as GuMiho sends most of his army across the map instead. Cheeky move by GuMiho, but necessary. So this is the beginning of the comeback for GuMiho. He is moving in. Yeah, he is moving in. He's going for the third. Colossus somewhat in position, but on its own it's looking quite vulnerable. And Swipe's going to be going up. Ooh, there's a cancellation though. Yeah, it does cancel the third. A very nice pick off here by GuMiho. And with that cancel, GuMiho, he's in this game. He's back in this game. It was a disastrous start, but Zoun, he had to preserve that third base, and he failed to do so. That actually stacked up. And here it is. GuMiho now expands. And again, he shouldn't have been able to do this. Zoun, this army should be across the map, should be delaying this expansion. But now Zoun is stuck at home thanks to the double drop. So the MVP double drop here from GuMiho cancels the third base, keeps the army busy, and allows GuMiho to get ahead. Now taking an economic lead. We got a game. We got a game. I would even say that GuMiho is in a better position. You can see he's down. Yep, double expanding. He has to. He has to double expand. He has to do something to recover in this game. Because Zoun, he knows he's behind. He's behind. Oh! Here come the feedbacks. Softening up those medevacs. Medevacs are softened up. You see GuMiho moving out. He's pushing towards the fourth base. GuMiho does have that supply lead. And again, GuMiho's looking to put his first point on the board. Takes down the High Templar. Storm is not done. After the Templar goes down. And there's a cancel. Yeah, there's a cancellation. Fourth base is denied. GuMiho is pushing in for the kill. And again, Zoun, he was looking solid this game up until the double drop. Up until that double drop. And everything just went from bad to worse. Ooh, that's a nice storm. Storm does connect. Stalkers, they blink into tank fire though. That's gonna be 4 tanks. Oh my god. Jesus, the storms, they do connect though. Storms are connecting. The army does blink in. It's a very messy fight here, but it looks like the Protoss, looks like Zoun, he does barely claim the fight. We'll lose Colossus in the process. Does lose Colossus, does lose High Templar. Same time getting across the map. But Zoun, he holds. Zoun, he holds, he defends. Whew. We are in this. Zoun is going for his own counterattack, but pushing into this setup here is not going to be easy. I say that. No tanks. True. There are no tanks. Zealots are trying to catch reinforcements. Storm's going to be coming in. And nice Storms with the Vikings. They go to town. They take down the Colossus. Very nicely done. Colossus goes down, and I don't think there's enough of a gateway army here. There's what? 2 Stalkers, an Archon, an Immortal. Zealots are being dealt with. GuMiho does defend. Zoun has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. GuMiho, he still maintains that lead. Yes, on the one hand, it's impressive that Zoun's been able to take some fights and hold on and defend. But trying to kill GuMiho, that's not going to happen. Not anytime soon. Ooh, as the prism goes down, thankfully High Templar did unload in time. Did unload. It's GuMiho. He's rotating. He's rotating over. Threatening the main army. Nice. Oh, nice EMP. You can see he's down. He's slowly catching up. Now he's got his fourth. True. Fourth base is getting up and running. Oh. Stops connecting. GuMiho is keeping up with the harass. Oh, nice, very nice EMP. As both armies are soon to max out. GuMiho claiming his fourth base, Zoun getting his fifth. When it comes to our splash damage, we have 5 High Templar, no Colossus. Not yet, the first one's out of well. Oh! Ooh, as GuMiho will take a storm to the face, he'll bleed out a big chunk of bio. He's going down, GuMiho does skirt around the right hand side. He's trading, catching an Archon and a Immortal as well. He is trading. At least trying to. He does double back. Back. Now Zoun has a Colossus. Not many Vikings here for GuMiho. He's not really ready for this. No scans. Spots a Colossus. Getting to Liberators. Okay. Liberator production has begun for GuMiho. Fusion Core on the way as well. Getting to Liberator range. GuMiho is building up. He's taking, more importantly, true. We're getting into a longer game. It's been a very intense game, is what I will say, but our players have been deflecting each other. We've been bouncing up. And I will give the edge to GuMiho here as the Liberators hit the field. Right now, there's no good response to the Liberators. We do have 10 Stalkers, so there is some anti-air, and we could see Zoun try to force his way through those Liberation zones, but it's not going to be easy. Goes for it. GuMiho is setting up. One Liberator goes down. Just the one. So Liberation is set. GuMiho holding the line. Liberator harass across the map. Not really getting too much done here. Getting 5 probes. 5 probe kills. So now built up to 3 Colossus. Now the downside of getting into all these Liberators is that has impeded Viking production. There's still only 2 Vikings. So with a lower Viking count, these Colossus, they're looking a lot more comfortable. First Ghost goes down, the Ghosts are exposed. The Ghosts are exposed, losing a second Ghost. Storm's following up as well. And Zoun is going for the 5th. Going for the Planetary. Does bring it down. The Vikings are doing what they can. There we go, getting 1, 2, gonna get all 3 Colossus. He's stepping in. And the Colossus, they will not get away. And again, the Storms, they were lackluster. There were, what, like 2 Storms on the ramp, and that was it. Not enough Storms, and such a beefy army as well. So Marauder heavy. We just tanked the Storms. Does rush past, and how many had Templar left? 3. 3 Templar remaining. Looks like most of them were not with the main army. EMP connects. There's 1 Storm. There's still 2 Templar left. Oh, EMP is a pop of 0 Templar remaining. There's 2 Colossus on the way. But GuMiho, this is his moment. This is his moment. He steps in, going for the main army, which means Colossus will pop out. Storms are coming from behind. But GG gets called. GuMiho, he does bounce back. GuMiho, he does put a point on the board. Whew, GG. GG well played. A crazy game number 3 here. Again, GuMiho, remember, he did kick things off with the 2-base all-in. He got scouted, he got shut down, and then he went for the Hail Mary play. He went for the double Marine drop. The double drop full of Marines. He was able to get across the map. He was able to cancel the 3rd base, force back his opponent, and actually expand. And GuMiho had the faster 3rd. He had the faster 3rd base, faster saturation. He got ahead economically. We saw that Zoun was fighting for his life. Zoun, he did survive the eventual move out from GuMiho, but he was treading water, really. Like, he never really had the momentum. We spoke about how GuMiho, tech-wise, was in a much more comfortable place. He was getting towards Liberators. I was concerned by the lower Viking count, but we saw that, hey, the High Templar, most of them were actually at home, not with the main army. There weren't many storms, and the Bio army could break through. GG well played. With that, GuMiho does put a point on the board, and we'll see if he can tie things up here and now, or if Zoun will bring back that momentum and extend his lead. Let's go, as game 4 is going to be on Incorporeal. Go. Hello, Lego. Lego. Bienvenidos, Fabi, bienvenidos. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing SATL Esports. Putting a point on the board. Fighting back in this series, it is a GuMiho. And spawning in the top left hand corner, but also moving out very quickly across the map with his probe. You have my attention. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for Team Vitality. It is Zoun. As we're setting up a proxy. Oh boy. Who are we rooting for last? Cost Phoenix. I mean, as I pointed out at the start of the series, GuMiho has been struggling in TvP as of late. He's been struggling a lot. If you've been watching him in the RSL qualifiers, in the World TV Championship qualifiers, in the online weekly tournaments, ever since EWC, specifically in TvP, GuMiho, he has been struggling. So I'm definitely rooting for him in the sense that I'm hoping that he can overcome that. And I also, for a lot of those TVPs that GuMiho's been losing, I haven't been able to cast them. I haven't been able to see them. I don't really know what's been happening. I don't know what's how he's been approaching the matchup. So I'm curious to see how he does approach it. So far, he has been hyper aggressive. 1-base all-ins, proxies, 2-base all-ins. Yes, we had a macro game last game. That was after the 2-base all-in failed, and we stumbled our way into a longer macro game. It was never the intention of our player. Meanwhile, we're committing to proxy 2-gate. The gateways are on the way. We have gas in production. Sorry, we have gas being mined, so we can get the cyber core, so we can reinforce with stalkers and adepts. For now, it is going to be double zealot. So double zealot on the way. Ooh, economic opener. Oh no. I mean, we are in Incorporeal. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps. The map will longer resistance by ground. Zoun, he is assuming that GuMiho would be greedy. He actually has no idea. He's gambling so hard right now. GuMiho, he's going for the faster CC, which means his factory is delayed, which means the Cyclone is delayed. It means the Heli is delayed. He's going 2 racks? Oh god. there is no, he's gonna have Marine. He's gonna have vanilla Marines to defend. Oh boy, it's going to be a very fragile army. Is he going 3 racks? He's going 3 racks as well. So no Hellions, no Cyclone, pure Marine for defense. And GuMiho has no idea because he did not scout across the map. He doesn't know that there's a proxy. He doesn't know that anything's missing. He has no idea what's going on. Neither does Zoun, but Zoun, I mean, he gambles correctly. As both players were playing blind, just blindly getting to their openers. One Zealot to delay the CC, the other Zealot to chase down the Marine. The wall has been thrown up. Zoun, what did we see? He didn't see much. Again, he ignores the natural bases, going for the kill, going for the main. Stalkers, they zone away the Marines. There's no bunker because, again, GuMiho never scouted. He just never saw anything. He doesn't know. Debo goes down. He gets one. He gets the other. GuMiho supply blocked. He's supply blocked. He cannot make anything else. He's got 2 Marines on the way, but only 2 Marines on the way. The boys are being pulled. Second Debo goes down. And things looking dire here for GuMiho. He's trying to hold on, but he's losing so much mining time. Bunker has begun. Now we have the adept. Now we just reinforce. And Zoun, he's expanding behind this. Remember, he's not all in, but he can just trade. He's happy to trade. Oh, takes down all the SCVs. Focuses down the Marines as well. There's nothing. There's just nothing here. GG gets called as Zoun. He hard counters GuMiho. There was so much gambling happening from both sides. Just as a reminder what happened here. Zoun, he went for a proxy 2-gate blind. Remember, he didn't probe Sky. He had no idea what was going on. But we're on Incorporeal, and on Incorporeal, it is common to go for an economic opener, to go for a faster CC. It's common just because the map is larger, longer rush distance by ground, so on and so forth. So Zoun, he gambled here. He was hoping that GuMiho would open up economically, but this wasn't just an economic opener. This was a racks expand into a 3-rack. So again, there were only vanilla Marines to defend, and you saw just how useless they were. You saw how brittle they were, and they just went down instantly. Likewise, GuMiho also didn't SCP scout either. Like, just so many things, just the stars aligned for Zoun. GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he will extend his lead in this series, and we're now getting into game number 5. Now, bearing in mind, this is a best of 9, so we still have more games ahead of us here. No one is on match point yet, but we'll see if we can actually bring it back here. GuMiho is up against the wall. Can we get another point on the board? As up next, we're going to be loading into ley lines. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing SA2L Esports down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this a little bit more. At least I'm hoping for it. It is a GuMiho. Let's get my Google Translate out. I was not ready for this. Un momento. No. Are they talking about the build? Are they talking about what food they're gonna get as well? Maybe. Ah, okay. They're talking about the build. They're talking about proxy 2-gate. GuMiho, it was saying it hits so fast and like trying hard to distinguish between proxy 2-gate and 1-gate. Yeah. And GuMiho said I should have built a bunker right away. Like this. Basically, they're discussing the previous build. And in the top right hand corner, speaking of, we have the South Korean Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss. We have the Blue Protoss representing Team Vitality, leading the series 3-1. It is Zoun. Let's go. But yeah, quick Google Translate. Here they were discussing the build, talking about the proxy 2-gate that he went up against. GuMiho, he was lamenting, talking about getting a bunker, talking about distinguishing it between proxy 2-gate and proxy 1-gate response as well. Yeah, they were just discussing the build. Here we go. As we do have, once again, economic opener. Racks expand, single gas. This time the CC's on the high ground. Also, during their banter, GuMiho, he's like, you better not be doing it again. he's like, are you doing it again? And so I was like, maybe. So you can see GuMiho, he's a little bit scarred after last game. That's why the CC's on the high ground. So he's being very careful. He's being very safe, getting the CC on the high ground instead. This does mean that it is a little bit inefficient because now the CC has to float down, but it means it will finish. It means it will be safe. So it's going to be a little bit safer here, but less economic. Reaver gets across the map, and GuMiho, he will confirm that the gateway's back at home. Does confirm. Twilight Council here out of Zoun. Base build by John, you mean Jo Yun? I believe that's how you pronounce it, right? Is it like Zoun's name correctly pronounced is Jo Yun, if I'm recalling correctly. I think Yaku knows for certain. I'll stick with Zoun for now. But yes, there's like a correct pronunciation. It's always a foot. It's pronounced. I don't think it's pronounced John. No. Ah, no. For now though, GuMiho is going to be expanding, getting his own 1-1-1 setup. But likewise, across the map, we do have Zoun getting ready here, going for 3-gate blink. So once again, we have a bit of a safer start here from Zoun. We saw last game him go 3-gate blink into a robo, into a bay on 2 bases, but that was a response and a reaction to a 2-base all-in. As we can see here, there's no indication of this being anywhere near as aggressive. As we're moving out with the early Marine and Cyclone drop, we're building behind this, and god damn it, the tuner's still there. God, look, these fast games have been throwing me off guard. But here we go. GuMiho, ideally he wants to pick up a pylon, pick up a key unit early on. We'll see what he can catch, as there is a safety shield battery at the natural. The battery is in position. Drop into the main. Cyclone distracting at the natural. Cyclone does distract. And the main base is exposed. Marine's dropping in. Now he reacts. Does pull back. Hallucination likewise does confirm that Blink is on the way. Blink, sorry, that Cloak is on the way. Blink is just about to finish. So Zoun, he's now aware of Blink. He already has the robo, and behind this, do you see what I see? That is a Temple Archives before the 3rd expansion. Now, this is a trendy build as of late. If you've been watching StarCraft over the past month of play, basically ever since EWC, maybe I would say almost since Season 2 of GSL, we have seen more of this. More of these Temple Archive openers. Basically, early Storm. Storm should finish up by the time this army moves out across the map, assuming that we go for a later timing, but I believe GuMiho intends to push out here and now. So if GuMiho got extra axes and worked towards stim and went for a later stim timing, oh, let's go! He's going into mech. If you remember, at the start of the series, we expect to see this at least once in this best of 9, and there it is. We're going to be meching it up. He's going to mech it up. He's going to make it happen. Oh boy. Now, on the one hand, this is pretty cool. On the other hand, it means that Zoun will get away with Storm. I was going to say that if GuMiho hits pre-stim, then he could try to break Zoun before Storm comes into play. And I guess he is going to hit pre-stim, but he's going to hit a little bit later because he's going to get his factories up and running. He's getting a 3rd CC. GuMiho is building up towards the mid-game. I guess the plus side is that Storm is not the most effective tool against mech. Instead, Charge Lots, Immortals, Archons, they thrive that much more. Observer gets caught. Zoun so far is in the dark as what's going on. We have Hyperfly Rotors on the way. It's going to be Battle Mech alongside the Mass Banshee. Banshees, they do play their own role here as well. They can do a great job when it comes to sniping sentries, sniping High Templar, sniping these key units, while also harassing. But GuMiho needs time, is the issue here. GuMiho does need time. And likewise, we'll see how long it takes for Zoun to realize what's going on. Oh! It's okay, it's close. So far, no major indication. He hasn't seen enough to confirm. Ooh, until now, a hallucination goes in. There we go. He does get us all the factories, on all the bases as well. Now he knows. Now he knows what's going on. Behind this, throws down the Stargate immediately. Interesting response. Okay. I mean, if we're going into the late game, then Skytoss is going to be ideal. But definitely curious to see how he does get into that late game. How he does work towards Skytoss. No shot, we're just going to be rushing into it. I mean, Zoun's assumption is that GuMiho is going to turtle up, and so far, that is a correct assumption. Again, these Battle Mech upgrades are just now on the way. They were delayed. And this could just be Phoenixes to help deal with the Banshees. As I did see extra Banshees. There we go, we have 3 Banshees fanning out. Zoun, he will spot them. Does spot, but no detection. And no detection with the main army. Banshees moving in. Zoun, he rotates over. Where are we headed? Hellions, they cause a distraction. Oh my god, probes they line up. Yeah, they did bunch up there. 4, 6 probes going down. Not bad from GuMiho. As again, he also keeps Zoun contained. Remember, Zoun, he intended to push. Like, he was moving out with the War Prism, he was moving out with everything. His intention was to try to push and try to break the third, but now forced back home. Thanks to the Banshee, to the threat of the Banshee and the Hellions as well. So Zoun backs off, and GuMiho reestablishes his third base even further. Turrets, sensor towers, tank lines. Now this position is that much more secure. Phoenix is building up. As we mentioned, the Phoenixes that they deal with this, to deal with the Banshees. Just because, as you can see, GuMiho is making additional Banshee production, or he's making additional Banshees. So Phoenixes, they have their role. Zoun is rotating. There are 5 Banshees so far. It's a lot of Banshees. And hopefully GuMiho doesn't chase. Oh, he's getting baited. Yeah, GuMiho has to get the hell out of here. He's got to leave. Zoun's still sharking around. Both armies are about to max. They're about to max out, so there's that transition to Sky Toss. As we mentioned, like, ideally, if we're going to the late game, if we're going into a 4 base versus 4 base, then you will need Sky Toss. So Zoun is getting there. And we'll see if he does start working towards Tempest production. Right now, extra Robos as well. Zoun shouldn't be pushing into this. I'm also not too fond of the army composition that Zoun has at the moment. As we mentioned before, the High Templar, I don't really know if they really add too much value. Whereas we could be investing into more Immortals, more Phoenixes. So we'll see what the Remax is going to look like after we trade. Speaking of, we are going to be coming in. Does lift up the tanks, only for a moment. Yeah, better trade for GuMiho. Does go back the army. You can see Zoun pulling back, fighting out of range of the tanks. Crucial that he does. Yeah, tanks are a little bit too far back. Zoun, he trades out his Zealots well. Storm on the Hellbats, not bad. Does Storm, and again, we're just fighting a little bit too far forward here. GuMiho overextending. Again, most of these tanks were not a part of the fight. Zoun rotates. Behind this, getting into... Oh, I was assuming Mass Immortal, but it's going Mass Disruptor. Okay. Let's go. As we mentioned, like, a High Templar, they don't really have a place here, so he gets rid of his High Templar. Catching out some of these tanks, not bad. Getting 1, 2 more tanks, 3, 4 tanks, even the tanks are exposed. And he's getting all of them. Yeah, every tank goes down. As more Zealot reinforcements have arrived, Zealots, they trade so well against us, forcing friendly fire. Collapsing on top of the tanks themselves, on top of the Cyclones. Just going for the CC. And looks like he will get it. Command Center goes down. Zealot run by towards the bottom right. Ah, there's a planetary. Okay. Going for the tight defense. Not bad. Behind this again, still building up those disruptors. Okay. I'm not too convinced, I'll be honest, with the disruptors, but sure. They can punish a more battle mech centric army, and funnily enough, we do have mainly Hellion Cyclone at this point. So they can be used to Zoun. So yeah, the Remax of GuMiho is mainly Hellion Cyclone, now Hellbat Cyclone. Scan reveals the Disruptors. Goes down now, making 3 immortals at a time. This is what we expected, or at least I expected, is a more immortal heavy composition. It's getting there. Regardless, down as map control. Hellion Runway moves out. I spoke about zoning. I don't really know if the Disruptors can really actually push into this. Getting on top of the tank. Never goes off. Oh, nice connection. Does force splits. Ooh, nice disables though here on the Disruptors. Disables a pop off. Disruptor's going to be going down. It's down. He's replacing them. Okay. He has faith. Disruptors are being replaced. It's down, pulling back. Nice fight from GuMiho. I mean, the MVPs were the Ravens. They did mass disable. And there's still plenty of energy. There's still more energy. So GuMiho does rotate. Rotates over. Once again, goes to the disable. At the same time, though, the tanks are exposed. Yeah, losing more tanks. Nice positioning here from Zoun, coming in from behind. At the same time, we do have Banshees harassing across the map, getting 7 probe kills. But, once again, GuMiho just bleeding out a lot of units here. Banshees not quite yet done. Going for more. The armies are just passed by each other. We're going for a base trade. Zoun going for another fresh mining CC. GuMiho going for a planetary, going for a Nexus. And remember, Zoun can always recall. Zoun, he can always recall. GuMiho, he's racing back. Some okay mine shots. So GuMiho is rotating. Has been losing more CCs. Losing another orbital. And now he has to push into these Disruptors. I mean, Zoun, he's caught him out of position. GuMiho's army has to move in. One over connects. Once again, mass disable. Mass disable the Disruptors, and Zoun, he's somewhat getting caught out here. Oof, bit of an awkward recall. I'll save some units. And GuMiho is all in. At this point, GuMiho is all in. Zoun, he just has so much mining, he has so many bases, so many expansions. GuMiho's down to 1 base. Down to 1 base mining. His natural is mining out, his main base mining out. He will be floating over CC to retake his 3rd. That will help. But Zoun will be the first to max. Zoun will be the first to max out. And GuMiho, he cannot keep up these trades. Again, I'm still not fully convinced by these Disruptors, but I mean, they worked out in the end. I mean, the Novas weren't really connected because of the disables, but regardless, they did what they needed to. They tanked the disables. Zoun does take a messy fight, but he can afford it, so it's fine. He can afford these messy fights. It's okay. Zoun is moving in. Once again, diving on tanks, and GG gets called. There's just nothing here, nothing remaining for GuMiho and Zoun. He will take a 4-1 lead in the series, now on match point. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Zoun does extend his lead. Meanwhile, big shout out to Luis GG in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid of 35. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Bienvenidos, todos bienvenidos to the Enki Pro Series number 6. Again, we are mid-series, or at least I'm hoping we are. It's a best of 9. Best of 9. We're jumping in game number 6, and we have Zoun taking a massive lead here. One more game, and Zoun will claim the win. The pressure is on GuMiho. Let's go. Pressure is on. I think he's trying to lose the Zealots. No, Zealots they are like quite beneficial over the course of the game. They're very cheap units and they do a great job against mech. Like going into this gateway robo heavy composition is kind of like the ideal. We saw that Zoun, he did have the tech ready for a Skytoss switch, but he never had to go for it. If the game slowed down, that's when you go into Tempest. That's when you go into your Skytoss. When I say when the game slows down, if GuMiho, if you remember, after a certain point, he switched into Battle Mech again, where he was making nothing but Hellion Cyclone. If he was going into Hellion Tank, and if he was being a little more defensive and turtling up on 4, 5, 6 bases, slowly expanding, that's when you 100% need to switch into like Carrier Tempest production, mainly Tempest really, and switch into that Skytoss. But because he went into a more mobile style, that's where you can viably still stick with like a gateway heavy composition instead. Personally, I'm still not fully convinced by the disruptors. I don't think they really justified themselves, but at the same time, even if they were other units, they most likely would have just been disabled anyway, right? Just because of the Master Raven that GuMiho was relying upon in a lot of those fights. But regardless, GG, well played. We're now getting into Tokamak. We're going to be getting into game number 6. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran down heavily in this series, and we'll see if he can bounce back and recover and extend this series any further. It is for SAUL Esports, GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. Go. As we are setting up, as we are settling in, we do have both Zoun and GuMiho here. Again, Zoun, he has quite a hefty lead, but we are now getting into Tokamak. Tokamak is known for its longer macro games, known for having a much more secure 3 and 4 base setup. God damn. Aye. It's not your time. It's not tuna time, pal. God damn it. We'll get rid of this in now. The problem is, like, I have to get rid of him out of game. Oh, I'll remember. But getting into Tokamak here, it's known for these longer later games. I'm a little bit concerned for GuMiho just because if you've been watching this series so far, GuMiho has been very quirky and very aggressive, which is what he's known for. True. It's what he's known for, and that kind of style is a little bit more favored on some of these other quirkier maps. On these larger maps, that's where it isn't. So I do like this. We do have a Rax expand, economic opener out of GuMiho, and we'll see if he plays standard coming into this, or we'll see if he goes for another all-in. I'm not too fond of all-ins on Tokamak, so I'm hoping he does go for a bit of a more tamer approach, and he does get into a third CC and builds up into a longer game. You can make an argument that, hey, he just tried to go for that on ley lines. Yes, but he also played mech. Like, there's still that twist to it, of course. That's that kind of GuMiho flair. We'll see if he continues with that, or if he calms down coming into Tokamak. So far we do have, second Rax. God damn it. That is a Rax expand into factory second Rax. If we see a third Rax, this screams 2-base all-in, which we saw earlier in the series, if you recall. It's already a build that we did get eyes on that Zoun was able to confirm. I'm hoping that's not the plan here. If you remember, that was on Ultra Love. On Ultra Love is when GuMiho went for the 2-base all-in. Hallucination does confirm the second Rax. And you can see he's looking for another. Do we go for a third Rax or do we go for a 2-on-1? There should have been a third Rax by now. There's Yaddle Sword, we're rushing into Stim. 2-on-1. Okay. Or he's waiting for the hallucination to die. It's one or the other. We have the money for it. We have 400 minerals. Ooh, okay. So, late tech by GuMiho, but again, I'm pretty sure it was late because of the hallucination, but at the same time, because the follow was going to be so delayed, there's a very low chance it would have been another Rax. And here comes the backup hallucination just to confirm anyway. So 2-on-1. This is a rare sight in TvP. There are reasons for that. We'll get into it as a hallucination confirms the 2-on-1. When I say 2-on-1, 2 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport. That's the name of this build. This is a very common build against Zerg players. It is uncommon against Terran and Protoss. Not never seen. We still do see it from time to time in TvT and TvP as well, but it's a rarer build because there's so much pressure on GuMiho. Now, there are pros and there are cons. First things first, this is going to be a 16 Marine medevac timing with Stim. So there's going to be a lot of Marines, there's going to be Stim, there's going to be medevacs, you can be active on the map, and you can get some damage done. Now, if this fails to get damage done, you can punish this quite hard because of the lack of factory production. Oh, okay. Okay, we have a twist here. Typically, we add-on swap the starport onto the reactor for reactor medevac production. Here, we're keeping the reactor on the factory for reactor widowmine production instead. So less medevacs, but we have widowmines to help support the yarn. Okay, okay. Interesting. So this is a bit of a different variation than the norm. Ooh, as the Cyclone does barely get away. Zoun kites well, picks up Marines. Remember, there's no Stim, and because of the build, specifically what I was gonna get to, the biggest weak point of this build, no tanks. 0 tank production, and also no bunker either. So moves like this, if Zoun, for example, went 4-gate Blink Stalker, he's going 3-gate Blink into Colossus production, by the way. But if he went 4-gate Blink, he could punish this, and he could abuse this because of lack of tanks and lack of bunkers and lack of any kind of support behind this, at least pre-Stim. Once Stim finishes, then that window is closed. We can see Zoun, he delays his third base in favor of Colossus production. This is very similar to the build and to the reaction that we saw on Ultra Luck. Ooh, as one Stalker goes down. Nice catch there from GuMiho. But if you remember on Ultra Love, because Zoun saw the all-in that was coming his way, Zoun, he intentionally delayed his third base in favor of splash damage. Here, it's not an all-in, so he does lay his third, but he still gets it. In game, on Ultra Love, he just never got his third base, until the game progressed. So this is very safe play here by Zoun, not as safe as Ultra Love, but safe nonetheless. And it means that Colossus will be out in time for the move out. The Colossus wouldn't have been out in time for the double drop, but GuMiho never went for the double drop. As he's now moving out with it, but this is a very delayed drop here from GuMiho. Ay, ay, ay. It's now moving in. Down behind, this is trying to get ready. As Danny's racing back home, GuMiho is sending it. The Colossus has arrived. GuMiho dives on the Colossus. Gets a sentry, gets a Colossus as well. Nice pickup. The Colossus goes down, miscontrol there by Zoun. Doesn't pull away in time. And GuMiho is trading well so far. But he's going to be cleaned up. Ooh. We'll lose the empty medevac. Again, thankfully it was empty. GuMiho pulls away. And Zoun does hold. Zoun defends. Now, as we settle into this, who are we favoring? Well, GuMiho does have a third. True, his third base is getting up and running. He's now getting into tank production, building up his Raxes, getting into the mid-game. Getting into the mid-game here. Zoun, ideally, in this kind of game state, would want a fourth. So his fourth base is going to be delayed. So late 4th base here from Zoun. GuMiho, meanwhile, is building up his own bio-tank army. And he's been quite active. He got spotted by the Observer. He's spotted. Zoun, he's reacting, he's responding, he's keeping up with the rotations. So far, so good. GuMiho does have a drop on the right-hand side, so we can try to slip in. Speaking of, Zoun does get across the map with the Zealots. Okay, not bad. Does get across. There we go, 4th base on the way. I will say this 4th base is late for Zoun, but I think he was just playing scared. I think he was just a little bit scared of how hard GuMiho was going to commit. And we're slowing the game down here. And this is what Tokamak is known for. We're going to slow the game down. GuMiho is taking up. A 4th CC is on the way. We're getting into a longer game. Sounds moving in. Across the tuna. Up. Catching out a drop. Let's catch out a couple of units. GuMiho's drop is activated. Only a single medevac full of Marines, so not the most threatening drop, but gets it nonetheless. We got some damage. Nothing to defend. 7, 8 probes. Okay, let's go. 9 probes go down. Medevac boosts away. And will eventually fall, but this medevac has paid for itself. It drags back the entire main army. Gets 11 probe kills. I say 11, getting up to 13? Jesus. 13 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. So, very nice drop here from GuMiho. Likewise, catching up when it comes to his bases. Getting into his own Ghost production. No Liberators yet, true. It's getting into Ghost, then into Vikings. Zoun likewise about to support his army. He's got Colossus, soon to be into Storm. Storm is on the way. So ideally you do want both. Or just Disruptors. Zoun's being active. Now jumping into the main. Likewise, GuMiho, oof, forced to lift up his 4th. He is forced to lift. So I'll say to unload. And we're getting into the mineral line here. SCVs are going down. The production is being delayed as well. Zoun, he doesn't push in with his main army though, so just relying on the drop. Getting a lot done, to be fair. When I say getting 16 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Insane damage in the main. Zoun, I feel like he could have tried to have moved in, whether it's, I mean, couldn't push into the siege line, but maybe gotten some damage done here, at least sniping the center tower. But Zoun played it safe. He played it safe. Back the hell off. Waiting for Storm. Wait for Storm. I mean, Zoun is in a better position. True. Storm is almost done. Zoun's being active. Now we have, well, now at least we're thinking about Liberators. Fusion Core's on the way. That should be for Liberator range. It'll take some time. And so far we have 5 High Templar, 3 in the Prism. Zoun is setting up the Zealot run by. He's getting ready for a run by. He's just taking all the bases on his half of the map. Mass expanding. So they force a cancel. They try to track the army. Ooh, tanks are in position. GuMiho, he's holding. Does hold on. I would say that all the tanks are actually centralized on the right-hand side. There's actually no tanks here to defend the planetary, which is a little bit concerning. But down he moves with the main army. Sees all the tanks. The tank line is setting up. He's coming in for the flank as well. 2 tanks are on siege. And he's going for the kill. Yeah, Storm's on the fire. Marine's going to be zoned away. That's the final Storm. Storm in these zones. Tank line was completely reset. And now the Colossus. The Colossus, they go to town. There's only 2 Vikings. Oh, getting to 5. Did I say 5? Down to 1. Down to 1, down to 0. 0 Vikings left. The Colossus, they reign supreme. Who needs Storm when you got lasers, papi? Ay, ay, ay. Saves in. Oh, he wants a Colossus. Does want them. They kite back. There's a recall, and the Colossus, they... Ooh. 2 of them do escape. 2 of them do get away. Whew, does get 1 though. Does get 1. Behind this, we have more Colossus building up. And again, the Viking count is not there. 0 Vikings. Storms. Back at home, making 3 Vikings at a time. He's building up his Vikings. At least trying to. Planetary is done, thankfully. So GuMiho does hold him to the base. Does snipe the ghost, or barely not. Nice control. GuMiho picking up the ghost. Does find the observer finally as well. That observer was giving Zoun so much information. I believe we're up to 4. Yeah, 4 Colossus. So we have 4 Colossus. We have, once again, 5 High Templar. Prism is being rebuilt. Ideally, Zoun, he wants that planetary. Oh, the Colossus are exposed, though. Yeah, miscontrol here. He should not be in this position. Storms do punish. But we'll be losing 1, 2, 3 Colossus. Yeah, really awkward fight here from Zoun. He gets the expansion, but this was an expensive trade. Zoun caught with his pants down. He will lose all the Colossus and the High Templar. Oh, we have more Templar coming in. Did snipe the expansion, true. GuMiho starving out a little bit here. He's going for the gold. Floating on over. Zoun does bypass the main army, just going for now the 3rd base. Ooh, catching medevacs. 2 more medevacs going down. As we're rebuilding the fusion core as well. Sorry, building a 2nd fusion core even. Bit of a feels bad, man. Doing a 2nd core. Zoun, he doesn't have to push into this, but he's distracting. Meanwhile, we do have that Zealot run by, and this is a planetary. Sorry, this is not a planetary, it's an orbital. This is also can trade better. Army dives in, Storms as well. Ooh, does send in the Storms. Lay reaction out of GuMiho. More Marines going down. Storms are brutal. And Zoun, he's done it. Zoun, he has broken the 3rd. GG. Zoun, he will claim the series 5-1. Taking down GuMiho and becoming the Enki Pro Series number 6 champion. GG. Congratulations. GG, well played. Zoun, he will claim the series. A strong showing here out of Zoun. My condolences to GuMiho. GuMiho, he had some good moments here. He was hyper-aggressive early on. I would say it was just a really rocky start for GuMiho. Remember, Game 1, he went for a one-base all-in on Last Fantasy, which fell on its face. Game 2, he went for a proxy, and also fell on its face as well. That was on Pylon, if you recall. And the first 2 games ended like in 6 minutes. Like, it was just a really fast start and really shaky start from GuMiho, and he started down almost immediately 2-0. He was down 2-0, so just a really rocky start. In the aftermath, we saw him getting a little bit more comfortable here, getting into a longer game on Tokamak, getting into mech as well, but last time and time again, Zoun did shut him down, and we spoke about this in the lead up to the series, but GuMiho has been struggling as of late, specifically in this matchup. In TvP, he's been struggling more than the other Korean Terrans, and it is something that he's trying to work on for sure. He's trying to work on it, but it's still working on it. That's what I will say. But regardless, GG well played. And again, the series was very GuMiho as well. Very GuMiho. A lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. Hey, we even saw a 2-on-1, but a GuMiho variation of 2-on-1 with reactive Widowmine support as well, which didn't really come into play. So yeah, fun series. A fun series overall. A solid play out of Zoun more than anything. Zoun, he was more or less reacting to the shenanigans from GuMiho and reacting quite well. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he will claim the series. And with that, we are now halfway through the broadcast. Halfway through, because up next, we have a very special show match. It is the Enki Epic Series. Now, if you're curious, what is the difference? We have the Pro Series, we have the Epic Series. Pro Series is StarCraft 2, Epic Series is StarCraft Evolution. Bam! Up next, after the break, we will have Tasia versus Classic. If you've been living under a rock, if you've not been watching StarCraft, you might not be familiar, but Tasia, he has been back for almost 2 months. He's been back for quite some time. We have been casting him in here on the channel as well. Tasia has been playing a lot, competing a lot, and has been looking pretty solid is what I will say, but we'll see how he compares to Classic. Bearing in mind that Tasia, he is back, but only back in StarCraft Evolution. He is not back in StarCraft 2. He doesn't play StarCraft 2. I mean, he plays StarCraft 2 in the sense that he has to play StarCraft 2 in the format that is StarCraft Evolution, because it's SE2 versus Brood War, but he doesn't compete in StarCraft 2 tournaments. He only competes in StarCraft Evolution tournaments, just as a heads up. Oh boy, so this is gonna be a wild one. it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. Again, when it comes to his play and his form, again, if you haven't been watching Tasia, he's been looking solid. When I rate him against the other Terran players in StarCraft Evolution, I'd rate Bjorn as #1. I don't know if I rate Spirit as highly anymore, just because Spirit has been so inactive. But I would say that Tasia's comparable to I almost said Homono. No, who am I thinking of? He's comparable to Dice, and he's comparable to Kiwian. That's it. I was thinking of top. He's comparable to Kiwian as well. So I would say that Tasia, he's in the upper echelon of Terran players when it comes to StarCraft Evolution. But I would still kind of delineate between someone like Tasia and someone like Bjorn, for example. But still looking solid, still looking impressive. And we'll be covering that series after the break. After the break. So we're going to be going on a short break here. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, and when we come back, we'll have Tasia and Classic facing off in that best of 9. Oh boy. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon.